Alright everybody, hey, how's it going? It's A-Stat. I believe AOV, it's Luis on TikTok, so in case some of these videos go on TikTok. Hey, so thank you for watching my video. I'm excited to start doing some of these motovlog videos. I'm recording with a GoPro Hero 12, still waiting for my media mod, but I am using a DR05X Tascam for my audio recorder with the Purple Panda lavalier mic. I think one of the biggest subjects that I mainly want to go over is, I wouldn't say it's the biggest subject, but I think it's one of the most talked in the motorcycle community is starting with the 1000cc 1000cc leader bike too much. And personally, I think it's a great idea. take it how you want it. I've had 600s. I think the smallest bike I've had is a 600. I've never had anything smaller, but I'm glad I never started with anything smaller, because I know it wouldn't have lasted as long. So being able to start off with the 1000, I think gives you enough room to grow and not get tired of what you're currently riding. Now, if you're planning on purchasing a leader bike, maybe one of the newer ones, for example, I have a 2015 BMW S1000RR, and my bike comes with modes. So right now I'm on slick mode, which it gives me the ability to do wheelies and whatever I want to do. But if I go ahead and change this to rain mode, pull the clutch, activates it, and now this bike drops from being a 199 horsepower bike to only 150 horsepower. So dropping it down almost 50 horsepower is a huge help, obviously. Now, is it enough to make up the power? That is it going to be just as powerful as the 600? Probably not. It's still going to be faster than the 600, but it makes it a lot more drivable. It's not so twitchy on the throttle. It's not instant. You're able to control the bike. It feels really good. Now, I know there's many bikes that have this mode. I know the BMW is not the only one. I've owned a 2012, the bug-eyed Yamaha R1, and that was a really good bike. And when I got it, I actually drove it on, I believe it was C mode. It had A, B, and C, and C mode was like almost super slow, to the point where it felt like a 600. So I don't think it's a bad idea starting off with a 1000, throwing it on like the least horsepower mode on the bike, and enjoy it and drive it and ride it. Now, one of the drawbacks that I do think about getting a leader bike over a 600 is usually a leader bike is going to weigh roughly 80 to 100 pounds heavier than a 600cc bike. So, like I said, I have a BMW S1000, and this one weighs around roughly 430 pounds. Mind you, I'm also a pretty big, heavy set guy. I weigh around 230, 240. So, to me, in my sense, throw this on cruise control. To me, in my sense, it wouldn't make a lot of sense to get a 600 if I'm a pretty big guy. So, that also falls into, hey, are you a really big guy? You know what I mean? Is 600 for you? You can get really into detail with the mathematics and talk about power to weight ratio and everything, but I really don't want to go there. And also, I think it really does come down to how much experience do you have riding, you know what I mean? If you come from somebody who's just ridden dirt bikes and everything else, and they're just jumping into crotch rockets, I don't think it's a bad idea. Like I said, jumping to a 1000, put that thing on C mode or slow mode or rain mode, and just have at it. And once you're done with once you get used to what rain mode has to offer you, go over here, bump it into sport mode, and that gives you, in my case, in this bike, it gives you now, race mode gives you full power, but keeps the wheelie control, the ABS, and the traction control, it's all maxed out. So you still have all the net safeties to protect you against anything were to happen, which is nice. But like I said, now you're going from 150 horsepower to around 199. So the difference is going to be huge in power. Something that maybe you want to work to and just getting used to it. It just comes down to how much respect you can have with the bike. Are you going to be one of those damn adrenaline junkies that are just going to be trying to go 180 miles an hour down the highway because you've seen a lot of TikTok videos and YouTube videos of guys doing that? Maybe a leader bike is not for you. 600 is going to do 160. Don't think you'll hit 170 on the highway, but you'll be doing 160 on the highway. The speeds that you can do in a 600 are not much different than a 1000. The difference is that the leader bikes are gonna get to 160 a lot faster than a 600. But at the end of the day, 160 is 160 no matter how fast you get there. So another point about getting a big leader bike that might stray you away from getting a leader bike is insurance. I've had insurances on other bikes before, and this bike was super expensive. The insurance was super expensive. Granted, I may have like a speeding ticket and a traffic violation, nothing crazy, but still, it was a lot more expensive than the 600 for sure. And I think just because it being a leader bike, it classifies it as maybe something else different. I'm not sure what kind of formula or equation insurance is used for that. Yeah, so this feels super weird having this bike on rain mode. It's just so weak. Like I say, it's still gonna get down no matter what. If I get on the throttle, it's still gonna go, but it's tameable. You're not gonna get like an instant instant jolt like you would putting this bike on slick mode. Another added benefit of having a 1000cc liter bike is you're always going to have the best electronics, the best parts, the best that company can offer. I feel like 600s are always like, I'm not going to say they don't get a lot of attention, because you have bikes like Triumph who are, their 600s were their bread and butter, the Daytona, the 675s, and even their Moto 2 765s. That was their thing. Like, nobody could beat them. That was, you know what I mean? Like, that 600 class was their thing so well that, they used it in Moto 2. But when you're looking at Yamaha, when you're looking at Kawasaki, when you're looking at Suzuki, especially Suzuki, like Suzuki, it was crazy back in the day. By the time you got like a 600cc, you're basically getting all the electronics and everything. Nice car. All the electronics, everything from the prior year. That's why they looked a prior generation behind the leader bikes. But anyways, you're always going to get the least amount of electronics possible, the most up to date. From what I've known, I don't think there's a 600cc bike out there with an LED display from factory. I know my roommate has a Triumph 765 Moto 2, and it comes with an LED display. But you're talking about that's like a racetrack purpose-built bike. You know what I mean? Most of the new 1000 liter bikes come with really nice big old LED displays. Even the CBRs, the Yamahas, especially the BMW's got a big one. I love it. one day I'll upgrade to the brand new S1000. Just not right now. So another pro that I can think of having a leader bike is they're gonna hold their value. I feel like leader bikes just hold their value very well, and when it comes down to reselling them, most leader bikes that I've seen are still close to like $10,000. If it's a 2010 up motorcycle, granted they're probably going to be selling for close to $10,000. Obviously the newer ones are now, they're touching almost close to 20s, like 19, 17, 16s, but I feel like they hold their value really well compared to 600. 600s, as soon as you buy them off the lot, they've lost a lot of their value. They're not going to be worth as much, even though honestly the 600 is a good starter bike. Any street bike I feel it has their pros and cons. I would just go straight to the bike that you want. I was a Yamaha R1 fanatic for a really long time, and I was like, man, I want the R1, and that's just the bike that I wanted. And then I came across this bike, and I kind of fell in love with this bike, and I was like, man, BMW would be kind of sick, so I got it. But if you're that guy, you're just like, just staring at a certain bike. Maybe you want the Honda CBR 1000, and that's just the bike you've been looking at for like years, and you need it and you want it. Then get it. Don't be that guy to be like, it's too much. It's too much to learn on. I should get the 600, and then sell it, and then upgrade to the 1000. Man, just go ahead and get it out of your system. Get that CBR 1000, and enjoy it. Respect your bike. Know your limits. Don't ride with people that triggers like the want for you to want to go faster, knowing that you probably shouldn't. Just don't ride with them. People are gonna tell you to ride your own ride, but at the end of the day, every biker I feel like that's out there has an ego, and they want to like prove themselves or something. There's certain things that I know that I can do, and certain things that I can do, and I ride to my limit. So I'm all for starting off with the 1000. Get the bike that you want, enjoy it, and you don't have to worry about it 2 or 3 years down the road. I'm kind of bored of the 600. Let me get a 1000. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, if you're just doing what I'm doing, it's the same thing as a 600. I'm going 45 down this road, and I'll be doing the same thing as a 600. Maybe you just want it for the city. Maybe some people say, oh, a 1000cc bike is too big for the city. Well, I mean, sure, if you're trying to go take the bike to its limits, in that case, a 600cc bike is too much for the city. It just depends on what. There's just a lot of factors into trying to purchase a bike. It's not as easy as people make it seem. Get on Marketplace, start searching for a bike. See how long it takes you for you to find and be like, all right, this is the one. It's gonna take you a minute. It's not as easy. But wrapping up this video, because I'm already getting here where I'm gonna eat lunch. Good old Chipotle. I'm all for it. I'm all for getting a 1000. One of my roommates, I convinced him in getting a Gixxer 1000. It's lowered, it's stretched, it's a really fast bike. I think it's honestly faster than my S1000. And I told him, hey man, learn on the bike, put this thing on A mode, or put this thing on B mode, C mode, sorry, and then just learn on it. And then he says till this day, like, he still drives it on C mode, if I remember correctly. He still hasn't gone into A mode, which is fine. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe C mode's just the power that he needs to be comfortable. He doesn't need to be going fast, because he's just not that type of guy. He's not going 120, 130 on the highway. He's just out riding and enjoying it. But like I said, it's just get the bike that you want. enjoy it, and I think you'll be okay. It's just a matter of what makes you feel comfortable and what makes you happy at the end of the day. 5 years from now, I guarantee you, whatever bike you have, you're going to be smiling. But if you have a 1,000cc bike 5 years from now, that smile is just going to be just as big whenever you're done with the rides. But all right, guys, thank you.